We have Professor Shankar Sharan with us, who is Professor in Department of Education and Social Sciences and CERT. We welcome to our show, sir.
Yes.
We would like to ask you, what is the importance of political science in school education and why it must be studied?
I think it is a science. So you all know that every time we discuss political issues, whatever happens in the world or in our country. So until you know the basic of the political science, until you know it as a discipline, what are the terms on which the political science or a state or government, law, our political institutions, world institutions, how they function, what are their essential theories, principles. Without knowing all these things, we cannot know exactly how to understand all these events happening around us, in our country, in the world. So until you have a basic understanding of political science, that is why it is introduced in the schools. Because after all, whatever you become later on in your career, a doctor, engineer, worker, whatever, but you also are part of a political system, even a world community. So in this political system, as a citizen, as a voter, especially in a democracy, until you know all these issues from the basic theoretical point of view and a certain philosophical point of view, all these decisions which affect your life, which affect your community, your family, everything, until you know this on a very, at least basically sound basis, you will falter, you will make wrong decisions, you will help wrong people, you will help wrong policies. Therefore, it is very much necessary to have the rudimentary or basic understanding of politics as a science, as a discipline, its basic concepts, basic theories, basic terms, basic institutions, even world institutions. All these are necessary for modern times, especially so because maybe in earlier times a state or a community could live in seclusion, could live in separateness. But now, with the advent of this world television, cable television, social media, everybody comes to know everything happening in the world. So having a sound understanding of all these events decides our own future, our own life every day and for the future also. Therefore, political science is a very important subject, especially not to have a wrong impression, to wrong understanding of the events. So therefore, I believe political science is a very important subject, and our teachers, our parents, our society should take care of it, that at least if you don't know political science, it doesn't matter. But if you know wrong theories, wrong principles, wrong attitudes, wrong conclusions, even ideologies, then it will affect the society and yourself. Therefore, I think there are so many reasons for which I would say political science is an essential subject to be taken care of.
Right. Sir, as you mentioned that no matter what you become, you be a teacher or you be a doctor, it is very important to know about political science. So what is the central theme of political science as a subject?
It's a good question, because as it is, you see that every now and then we discuss all these issues. So the central is the very important thing. I should say, as entire political science in our country, or I should say in all the world, it comes from the Western philosophy, Western political science. For the moment, I should say that we should leave the political science as a discipline in India or China or Japan, the old civilization. Presently, we are going through the Western notion of politics or Western frame of political science. So there, Aristotle is the foremost thinker, and he was also a scientist. Perhaps you know that Aristotle is the founder of so many natural sciences also. So he had this methodology of studying whole with the study of the part. So he approached politics also. He is also a father of political science, Aristotle. And so he approached political science also as he approached other sciences, to study the whole with the study of parts. So he said that in the political science, on the study of politics, the central piece is state, and state is the self-sufficient union of a part of human beings. And he says that since man is a social animal, man is a social creature. So the first institution to live in association is family. People live in family to support each other, to help each other, to live happily, to live contently. And then so many families, when they unite in a society, they make a village. And then when a considerable number of village, but all these, he mentions that the family or village is not self-sufficient. They need something else to survive. So the state is the first union of self-sustained organization. So he says that the state is the summation of human organization, and under which human society of so many villages, hundreds, thousands of families, because he was talking 2000 years ago, more than that. So in that sense, it was, the basic philosophy was the association of human being in a self-sustained entity, and the state is that self-sustained entity. So state is the central piece of study of politics or political science, and then all the associated issues like government, institution, law, so all these relates to state only.
Right. Like you described how Aristotle, the famous philosopher, described a state. But I am just curious about one question. When I was a child, I remember when I was in standard 5th or 6th, I often got confused between the term politics and political science. What is the main difference between the two?
Politics is just a part of political science. Politics is the activity which centers around taking of the power, using of the power, making of the power system. So, and just to participate in this sharing of power, allocation of power, use of power, or go to the power institutions. So these all activities called politics. Yeah. And political science is much broader subject. It includes politics as well as the philosophy, institutions and other things, which is not the day-to-day activity. Because you see, these day-to-day activity which you always see on the television or the newspaper, what happened in the United States, what happened in United Nations, what is happening in Syria, what is happening in North Korea, and the leaders' activities even within our own society, what is happening in Delhi Vidhan Sabha, what is happening in the parliament, all these are politics. Day-to-day activities are called politics, and when all the entire association of politics and law and activities plus philosophy and history and its conclusions, speculations, all this comes under the political science.
Right. So we see like in our surrounding, बहुत लोगों को हम लोग देखते हैं चाय की चुस्कियां लेते हुए वो politics के बारे में discuss कर रहे होते हैं. So is there any difference when a person is discussing about politics, one who knows political science, one who is a teacher or a professor, or one who is a graduate of a political science, and one who has no knowledge about political science? When these two different people discuss politics, is there any kind of difference?
I should say yes, because you see, an informed discussion, for instance, a person who knows computer in detail, right, when he sees something, then he will speak in a different way. But a layman who doesn't know anything, just uses the computer, he will feel helpless. After a limit, he will look to an expert. Right. So it happens in politics also, that a lay person talking politics in the tea stall or in a group of person or with a group of person in a drawing room, they speak on the basis of assumptions, so many assumptions, and apparently whatever happened. But a person who has a certain grounding in political science, he knows the theories of political science, he knows the institutions, he knows the meaning and difference between the different terms or institutions. For instance, the difference between judiciary and executive, difference between executive and legislature, their power separation, what is their domain, and what is the constitution of a particular country. For instance, take this simple example. Something what we do in our country is legal, but the same thing in any other country is illegal. So what makes it legal or illegal in two countries? It is the constitution of the country. So a person who knows the constitution of a country or one's own country and the history of the political system of one's country or the history of a particular event or an institution or a political party, his discussion or her discussion will be more informed, more balanced, without any emotion, not without any emotion, I would say emotion with reason,
Right.
with understanding, with this understanding that other people might be having different views.
Exactly.
So all these taken into consideration makes an informed political discussion, which a political scientist or a good student of political science should be doing. But a person who has no understanding all of these things, he would speak in a just on the basis of emotions or his own impression, and when it becomes combined, it is called mob mentality. And mob mentality is very different, and sometimes it is helpful to political leaders, ideologies or political parties, but most of the time mob mentality is harmful to the society.
Right.
So to be careful, to not to be influenced by the mob mentality, you need to have certain understanding of political science and political terms and theories.
Professor Shankar, as you mentioned, like different countries have different constitution, and if one thing is legal in one country, it might not be legal in another country. So here comes a question like, what is government, and does this vary from countries to countries or from region to region?
Of course, because you know that we have a democratic political system.
Yeah.
China has a very different political system. Iran has a third kind of political system. Russia has another kind of political system. Then the entire Europe, even within Europe, there are difference of somewhere there is a constitutional monarchy, somewhere there is no monarch. So there are republics and other kind of forms of a government. So all these kind of government has certain underlying assumptions or underlying histories. So on the basis of it, the activity or behavior of a community or a society becomes different.
So what are the components of government?
It is very rudimentary: legislature, executive and judiciary. But of course it is rudimentary for you and me.
Yeah.
But for a very young kid joining in the school and reading politics for the first time, it is a very important information to impart that the government has three essential components. One is which make laws, that is called legislature.
Right.
The other is executive, which implements all those laws. For instance, all these officer class, administrators, police, all these are executive. In the legislature, our parliament or assemblies or all these institutions who make laws or regulations, who sit and discuss an issue and create a law or related regulations. So these are legislatures, and there are executive who implement all those laws. They cannot discuss the merit of a law, whether it is right or wrong, or to what extent it is right, to what extent it is wrong. This is not the duty of executive. Executive is to just follow the orders of the law. And there is a third component of the government, that is judiciary. In our country, Supreme Court is the highest judicial court.
Right.
Then comes the High Court, then the lower courts. All these combined makes the judiciary, and the judiciary's essential duty is to adjudicate between two warring parties.
Okay.
These two warring parties can be two citizens, one culprit and the administration. Then it can be between even state and center, because in our country we have a federal system of government, because that is how our constitution makers devised our country, depending upon our diversity and so much long history of different areas. So judiciary also adjudicates between two states, for instance, on the border issue, or on the issue of water, on the issue of rivers. So what if two states are not coming to terms, two governments of the states are not coming to terms, then judiciary comes into the picture and they decide. Likewise, all these crimes and punishments, jail, and even finally, even if a law is made by the government, then someone can say that no, this law is not according to the constitution. So what is the constitution? What exactly constitutional provisions mean? So this clarification or this analysis or this explanation, this is the duty of the judiciary. So legislature, executive and judiciary, all three combined makes a government.
Right. So those viewers who are watching our show, I'll just request them to kindly ask their question. If there are any suggestion or any questions, you can call us on our toll-free number. It's 1-800-111-265. Another number is 1-800-112199. You can also ask your questions directly on our YouTube channel. It's NCRT official. You just need to go and click on the link, and you can ask the question directly over there. We have Professor Shankar Sharan with us, who is Professor of Political Science in Department of Education and Social Sciences, and today our topic of discussion is introducing political science in school education. So Professor, I would like to ask you here, like coming back to the topic that we were discussing about political science, how it should be tackled in school education, like what are the care that a teacher should take care while teaching political science in school?
I would say that is the most important question for school education,
Right.
as far as politics is concerned. As I said, that politics is a subject which everybody discuss even without any knowledge, just on the basis of impression, just on the basis of a happening. So how to start understanding political science in the school is the issue which should be taken care of most carefully by teachers. I should say that in political science in school, you can care roughly in three terms, in three parts, I should say. First is political terms. All those issues. Currently we are making a dictionary and we are identifying the terms. For instance, anything, any term, say Marxism, say police, say law, sovereignty, state, political parties, any term. So all these terms are one set of understanding. And second is political institutions like judiciary, Supreme Court, Human Rights Commission, police, or panchayat, Nagar Parishad, state assemblies. So these are institutions. So the terms, then the institutions, and the first thing a teacher should be taking care of is that his student or her student must be very clear about the meaning of all these terms. Because I should say that the very understanding of all these terms, political terms and political institutions, entire anatomy of political institution. For instance, we are sitting in the NCRT. NCRT is an institution. So a person who knows NCRT would know that how the structure of NCRT is made, who is at the top, who are the other officials, what are their duties, and what are the functions they are doing. So this is just an anatomy. Mind you, that we are not discussing the quality of the work. We are just discussing what exactly is their work. So this should be the first task of a teacher, to clarify the entire political institutions of the country or a state or at the local level, panchayat, all these government offices, institutions. So a person, if he knows exactly what is the meaning of a Vidhan Sabha, what is the meaning of parliament, what is the way of making laws, what are the procedure, similarly the procedure of the judiciary, procedure of executive, how the entire bureaucracy has been formed, what is the underlying assumptions. So all these institutions and the political terms, the meaning of these terms and the structure of all the institutions should be very much clear to a student, like an instrument. For instance, we are using a pencil. So until the pencil is sharpened and clear, you cannot use it. So likewise, the political terms, if you don't exactly understand when you say sovereignty, when you say law, when you say right, when you say anything, so until you know exactly what is the meaning of these terms, you cannot use it effectively. Otherwise, it would be a gaddamat kind of discussion. Then you are using a term without knowing what it means.
Right.
So the very important thing, the most important thing for a political science teacher in a school is to clarify all political terms and political institutions in the clearest manner, that there should be no haziness,
right,
or any tentativeness, that yes, we understand, but I cannot say what it is.
Right.
This is wrong. a person who is not clear about the political terms or political institutions cannot go further to discuss all those issues which we every day discuss.
Right.
So that is the problem which we mentioned in the beginning, that it relates to the political science understanding or discussion. And apart from political terms and political institutions, there is a third component which is also very important, that is called political philosophy or political theory.
Right.
So all three combined makes a, I should say, a structure of political science, a structure of politics, or to use a better word, a grammar of politics, that you know what this subject means: political terms, political institutions, and political theory or political philosophy, under which you discuss all these issues of what is Gandhism, what is Marxism, what is right, what is justice, what is law, whether a certain law is better, good or not, because as I mentioned that there are laws in different countries which in any other country is considered just as a barbaric. For instance, there are countries which have a different kind of laws. In our political science we have discussed it. There are countries where even speaking a word against the government which become an offense and person put in the jail.
Right.
While in some other country, like even in our country, that you can criticize any power holder and without any offense, without any legal provisions again coming against you.
Right.
So all these terms and theory, all these issues are discussed under political philosophy or political theory. But I must say that this political philosophy or political theory is a relatively higher stage of issue, because a very small kid or a school boy or a school girl, school student cannot really understand political philosophy and theory, because for that you have to have certain experience of life. But then they have to be given a hint of that, look, this is political term, this is political institution, but there is a political philosophy, and you should know that this is also important. Maybe you will learn it later, afterwards. But it is important that you should know that under the guidance of political philosophy, under the guidance of political theory, we can really discuss fruitfully certain issues and all those controversial issues or debatable issues, because without the help of political philosophy or political theory, you cannot really discuss all these things in a constructive way. In order to have a fruitful or constructive discussion, you have to have certain understanding of political theory and political philosophy, that is what is democracy, what is authoritarianism, what is dictatorship, what is good law or bad law, and the history of political events, the functions of United Nations and all these things. So the terms, institutions and political philosophy, these three combined makes the complete structure or grammar of political science.
Right. So you have very elaborately described like what things should be taken care of, terms, philosophy and the theories and everything. Like what is the scope of political science in general when we talk of the subject? What is the scope of this subject?
Scope is becoming very vast these days. Earlier in the traditional political science, this legislature, judiciary, executive, structure of institutions and lawmaking, foreign relations, and these were the subjects of political science. Of course, public administration was also a very important subject, under which the national administration or local administration are run or governed, how the country is governed. Then in Indian context or any other country's context, one important thing is their countries or one's country's the political structure, how the country is governed, the constitution. Constitution itself is a very important subject of political studies in any country. And then comes the international relations.
Okay.
Then the international organizations like United Nations. But this is the basis. This is the basics of the traditional political science. In now, the political science scope has increased so much that it is very difficult to say that where this boundary stops, because we see that, for instance, take censorship. Right. Censorship used to be a very effective medium in any country earlier to stop any particular issue to be discussed within the public domain or to be discussed, or even the information can be blocked. But now after this cable TV or social media and the direct communication communication with your mobile phone, it is impossible to make any censorship.
Right.
So you see that the earlier boundaries are being broken every day now. So now, and all the issues of the world are the issues of the world.
Right.
That earlier it was not so. Something happened in a remote Soviet Union or remote Canada, sometimes the news comes after a long time.
Right.
Or if a country is a dictatorship, then then even a very important event should come after months or years, that people come to know in the world that something happened, like for instance Chernobyl or any untoward incident or any natural calamity. So all these things come to be known very late, after very time, but now it is instantly known. So all these issues are now political issues, because in everything people participate, and when people participate, their emotion come to play into picture, then political parties take interest into it, media takes interest into it. It is made an issue. Sometimes a small issue is made very big, sometimes a very big issue is not taken care of. So all these things are now happening, and I cannot say that now any issue is beyond the purview of political science, in the sense, if until it is strictly technical, like atomic energy or something. But then again, even atomic energy is being discussed now as a political issue, whether it should be used or it should not be, or what is the limitations of nuclear power generation units, and so on and so forth. So I should say that now the scope has increased tremendously.
जी, चूंकि हमारे कई दर्शक हिंदी भाषी भी हैं, तो वो हमारा प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं एक्चुअली, और यूट्यूब पे उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट भी की है कि हम हिंदी में भी कुछ बातें उन्हें समझाएं. तो यहाँ पे एक सवाल, इसको आप हिंदी में अगर हमारे दर्शकों को समझा सकें कि अगर पॉलिटिक्स के स्ट्रक्चर की बात करें, तो इसको आप कैसे बताएंगे हमारे दर्शकों को कि पॉलिटिक्स का एग्जैक्ट स्ट्रक्चर क्या था, व्हाट इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द पॉलिटिक्स?
ये तो मैं उसे कह चुका हूँ, लेकिन उसी को मैं हिंदी में कह देना चाहता हूँ कि पॉलिटिक्स के स्ट्रक्चर में तीन बातें हैं. जी. पहला जो राजनीतिक शब्द है, जैसे संप्रभुता है, राज्य है, राजनीति भी एक शब्द है. तो जैसे राजनीति हम कहते हैं, तो कौन सी गतिविधि राजनीति है? कभी कभी हम घर में बैठी बातचीत को भी, या अपने ऑफिस में बैठी बातचीत को कहते हैं कि ये पॉलिटिक्स है, पॉलिटिक्स हो रही है. लेकिन ये टेक्निकली ये पॉलिटिक्स नहीं है. पॉलिटिक्स का सीधा संबंध राज्य से है, पावर से है. जब कोई विधानसभा की बात है, संसद की बात है, उसमें संसद में पहुंचने की बात है, या सरकार में बनाने की बात है, ये सब चीज़ें मुख्यतः पॉलिटिक्स से जुड़ी हुई हैं. और बाकी सब चीज़ें जो हैं, इसको हल्के से इस्तेमाल करते हैं कि ये पॉलिटिक्स है. ऑफिस में जो हम एक दूसरे की चीछा लेदर करते हैं, या किसी को ऊंचा ले जाते हैं, या किसी को नीचा ले जाते हैं, ये पॉलिटिक्स नहीं है. तो गंभीर शब्दों में, गंभीर अर्थों में पॉलिटिक्स का संबंध स्टेट से है, राज्य से है, राज्य सत्ता से है. तो ये शब्द, राजनीतिक शब्दों का ठीक ठीक अर्थ जानना, ये एक पक्ष है राजनीति विज्ञान का. दूसरा पक्ष है राजनीतिक संस्थाएं, जैसे न्यायपालिका है, कार्यपालिका है, पुलिस है, फिर प्रशासन है. इन सब के जो गतिविधियां हैं, इन सब के लिए जो बने गए नियम हैं, इनकी जो काम की सीमाएं हैं, इनके जो कर्तव्य हैं, ये एक दूसरा पहलू है जो राजनीति विज्ञान के अंदर आता है इसके समझ में. और तीसरा है ये राजनीतिक सिद्धांत या राजनीतिक दर्शन. जब हम कहते हैं कोई चीज उचित है या अनुचित है, तो ये हम किस आधार पर कहते हैं? कोई घटना घटती है, कोई उदाहरण के लिए लीजिए, कोई पार्टी जीत जाती है किसी चुनाव में, कुछ लोग कहते हैं ये बहुत बुरा हुआ, कुछ लोग कहते हैं बहुत अच्छा हुआ. आप जरा सोचिए कि ये कहने का आधार क्या है. लोग आमतौर पर अपनी भावना, अपनी इच्छा, अपनी पसंद नापसंद से कुछ भी बोलते हैं. वो अच्छा भी हो सकता है, बुरा भी हो सकता है. लेकिन अगर कोई राजनीति विज्ञान का ठीक से अध्ययन करके जानकार व्यक्ति होगा, तो वो बताएगा कि हमारा ये संविधान है, ये हमारा राजनीतिक दर्शन है, या विश्व का ये राजनीतिक दर्शन है, ये अच्छे सिद्धांत हैं. लोकतंत्र एक अच्छा सिद्धांत है, न्याय एक अच्छा सिद्धांत है, नैतिकता एक अच्छा सिद्धांत है. तो न्याय, लोकतंत्र, नैतिकता, इसके आधार पर जब आप डिस्कस करेंगे तब पता चलेगा कि कोई इलेक्टोरल विक्ट्री, किसी पार्टी की जीत या किसी नेता की जीत वास्तव में अच्छी खबर है या बुरी खबर है। तो ये सिर्फ भावनाओं के आधार पर तय करना, ये इसको मैंने भी कहा कि ये मॉब मेंटेलिटी है, भीड़ तंत्र में शामिल हो जाना, क्योंकि सब लोग बोल रहे हैं इसलिए मैं भी बोल रहा हूँ। लेकिन अगर आप राजनीतिक दर्शन या राजनीतिक सिद्धांत से परिचित हैं, अगर आपने उसका कुछ अध्ययन किया है, आपने अरिस्टो का अध्ययन किया है, प्लेटो का अध्ययन किया है, अपने संविधान का अध्ययन किया है, या दुनिया के महान राजनीतिक चिंतकों का अध्ययन किया है, या इन विषयों पर कुछ सोचा है कि न्याय क्या है, लोकतंत्र क्या है, तब आप जो डिस्कशन करेंगे वह पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी है। तो इन तीनों चीजों को जोड़कर राजनीतिक शब्द, संस्थान और दर्शन, इन तीनों को मिलाकर के राजनीतिक शास्त्र की संरचना बनती है।
जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर शंकर शरण जी, हमारे दर्शकों को हिंदी में भी ये सभी बातें दोबारा समझाने के लिए। सो वी हैड प्रोफेसर शंकर शरण विद अस, हु इज प्रोफेसर इन डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड सोशल साइंसेज NCERT, and today our topic of discussion was introducing political science in school education. This was the first episode of this topic. In further episodes we will take it to the higher level and we'll discuss more complicated issues like how to introduce controversial topics in classroom and things like that, right? So today we introduce the basic things like what is political science, how is it different from politics, and what a teacher should take care of while teaching political science in a school, and how a layman is discussing a particular topic is different from a scholar who has studied political science, and how would he discuss things. We are continuously flashing our toll-free number on our screen as well. It's 1-800-111-265. Another number is 1-800-112199. We are also live on YouTube. It's live streaming, NCERT official. You just need to go on that and click on the link, and we would be continuously taking questions or suggestions if you have any. Thank you so much for being with us. Tomorrow we'll come up with another topic with another expert. Till then, please be with us. Thank you.